Hey, what is up guys, my name is Video, and today I'm going to be talking about 3 players that have been way too loyal to their teams. I'm going to be getting into why they're too loyal, why they need to request a trade, and why why it would make sense for them to request this trade. I'm going to be getting into all of the reasons. It's going to be 3 players, like I said earlier, and I do think it's 3 pretty good arguments for these players to want to leave. And before I do get any further into this video, if you do like the video, hit the like button. If you really like the video, hit the subscribe button, mean the road to me. And also, without further ado, without me rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the first guy on this list is going to be Kristaps Porzingis, and the reason I think he should request a trade is because ever since he was drafted, the team hasn't even made the playoffs or even had a winning season. Their best year so far with Porzingis was 32-50, where the other 2 years they were 31-51 and 24-38. So they have been more of a bottom feeder team ever since he was drafted, even though he is so great. And this year so far, they're not looking like they're going to have a winning record, as they are currently 12 games away from having a winning record, and they probably will not make the playoffs, and most likely, I can almost say for certain, they won't make the playoffs. And also, before the season-ending injury that Kristaps Porzingis did get, he was averaging 22.7 points per game, 2.4 blocks per game, 1.2 assists per game, and 6.6 rebounds per game, while shooting 39% from the 3. I mean, that's superstar numbers, but he's just not getting anything out of it. Like, I mean, he's putting up these MVP-like numbers, but his team's just not good enough to get him any recognition or, like, the credit that he actually deserves. And also, I mean, the front office has been atrocious. I mean, dude, the best player he's ever played with was Carmelo Anthony, and they had him before they drafted Kristaps, so it was kind of default that you can get to play with him. It's not like they added that for Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, right now, the best player they probably got for him was Trey Burke, and it was off of a completely blind luck. I mean, that was just luck that he ended up being pretty good in the league. As he was really good in the G League, so they picked him up. And I mean, it's pretty much a coincidence how he's so good. I mean, it's not really good GMing. It's more like, I mean, we needed someone to fill in this roster spot, so let's pick him up, and that's what they did, and ended up working. And they did have a decent draft, getting Frank Ntilikina. I mean, he was all right, but I mean, come on, he's probably not ever going to be an all-star. That'll probably be the best he will ever be if he does even get that. So, I mean, overall, the team just hasn't been drafting good. They haven't built a team around him. I mean, for a guy as good as him, I definitely want a trade. But now for the second guy on the list, Kimbrough Walker. Kimbrough was drafted in the 2011 draft class when they were still the Charlotte Bobcats. Don't even get into that trash can of a franchise. And is now a 2-time All-Star, and the dude averages over 20 points per game. For the past 3 years, he's been averaging over 20 points per game, and over the past 5 years, he's been averaging over 5 assists per game, and shooting over 34% from the 3 for back-to-back years now. But I mean, that has little to nothing to show for it. I mean, the dude hasn't been to the playoffs twice in his entire career. They've only had 2 winning records, and both times they were in the playoffs, they were bounced in the first round. And I mean, only 2 winning seasons is very hard for a 2-time All-Star of his caliber to want to play. And I mean, just to add salt on injury, his rookie year, they managed to go 7-59. How is that even possible? And how do you want to stay on that team for how bad they've been? And even this year, I mean, they're having a little bit more success after the All-Star break, but there are reports about Kimbrough Walker getting traded. Like, there are reports that he might be getting traded before the break. But then, I mean, the GM said he wasn't going to get traded, but I would not be surprised if he requests a trade or just leaves in free agency when he has a chance. And my third and final player on this list is going to be Devin Booker, probably one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA. Right now, he is currently currently in his 3rd year of, like, being completely snubbed from the All-Star game. I mean, this happened twice now. I mean, the first year he was a rookie, so you can make the argument that's why he didn't make it, but I mean, for the past 2 years, come on, the dude, he's been completely snubbed, because over the past 2 years, he's been averaging over 20 points per game, over 3 assists per game, and over 3 rebounds per game, and right now he is currently in his best year of his career, averaging 24.9 points per game, 4.8 assists per game, and 4.6 rebounds per game, and he has been shooting 31% from the 3. This dude is ranked 9th in points per game of the entire league. He is an absolute beast on scoring, and he's not a slouch on defense. He's decent on defense, but I mean, he's a beast of a scorer. And I mean, this dude is only in the top 55 for 3-point percentage, but then you can make that sense when he's in the top 20 for attempts of 3 per game. I mean, he shoots so many shots because that's literally the only way they won't get beat by 50. And I mean, mean, up until they added Elfrid Payton for a second-round pick, they've done nothing to help this dude out. I mean, his best player he ever played with was Eric Bledsoe. I mean, Eric Bledsoe probably should be an all-star. I mean, he's a borderline all-star, and I think he will probably get one eventually as he's entering his prime years. But obviously, they shipped him off to Milwaukee, and it's just, I mean, after he left, now they have Elfrid Payton to fill in a spot, who's been playing really good with the Suns, but mainly because he is the second option playing alongside Devin Booker. And I mean, Elfrid Payton's a good player and all, and I think, I mean, that's a step in the right direction. But I mean, no, Elfrid Payton and Devin Booker aren't going to get you over 20 wins or over 30 wins a season. And also, I mean, their drafting has been awful ever since they got Devin Booker. I mean, they got Devin Booker. That's great. That's a great draft. But then they proceeded to get Josh Jackson this year, who was supposed to be a beast and at least help the Suns get some wins, but no, this dude has been a bust. He's been awful. He's been playing better as of late, but I mean, over the whole year, he's been playing like a complete bust. And I mean, they're just terrible at drafting and put pretty much nothing around him. They replaced Eric Bledsoe with Elfrid Payton, so I mean, I guess you can say that's about the same thing. Eric Bledsoe is probably a tad bit better, but I mean, Elfrid Payton is younger. I mean, I don't know. They've been playing better. I mean, it's hard to say better when they have been playing as bad as they are, but they've been playing better ever since Elfrid Payton came. But still, they are definitely probably, in my opinion, the top 3 worst teams in the entire league. And those are pretty much the 3 main ones I was going to say. But I do also have honorable mentions. And one of my honorable mentions of the 3 was Andre Drummond. The reason I didn't put him on here is because they were pretty bad. But then, I mean, then they added Blake Griffin. And I think they're going to need to have time for them to gel. And they're going to have to see until next year to see how that ends up working out. And then, obviously, the second one, I'm probably a lot of y'all are surprised he wasn't on this list, Anthony Davis. But the reason I didn't have him is because, alright, they are only 1.5 games out of the 3rd seed. They're currently ranked the 5th in the West, which is an extremely hard conference. I mean, they're currently ranked the 5th. Like I said, they're only 1.5 games out of the 3rd seed and only half a game out of the 4th seed. So, I mean, they have a chance to be in the upper echelon of the playoffs for the Western Conference. But then, I mean, and also they have DeMarcus Cousins that they added. And I mean, that was going pretty well until, well, he got injured. And they were actually playing very good and they hit a stride, but then he got hurt. But now they're hitting another stride as AD's been playing outstanding. And Drew Holiday started to play like a all-star again. And then, I mean, someone no one really thought would be that good, E'Twaun Moore. He's been kind of balling out. I mean, the dude's in the top of 15 in 3-point percentage. So he's been doing pretty good. But for the 3rd honorable mention, I'm going to have Marc Gasol. Only because, I mean, up until the reason I didn't put him up is because you really can't say he's too loyal until this year. I mean, just look, because last year they were a playoff team because they have Mike Conley and Marc Gasol playing like beasts. But I mean, this year they are awful. And I mean, for him not to want to request a trade at the trade deadline this year was kind of weird for me. But the reason I didn't put him on here is because it's only the first year he's like being loyal and like too loyal. They are awful. They're definitely a bottom feeder team. They've been playing like trash. And I mean, if Marc Gasol wants to win a ring at all, he's gonna definitely have to move soon. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be it for this video. So if you did like the video at any point, hit the like button. If you really like the video and want to make my day, hit the subscribe button. I'd love you forever. And I mean, right now we're at 146 subscribers. Thank y'all so much. I'm blessed to be here. And the only reason I am here is because of y'all and the real homie OG upstairs, which is Jesus himself. Shout out to you. None of this would be possible without him. Thank y'all so much. And kids, don't think about you either. Never do vegetables. Of the drugs. Stay safe. Wear seatbelt. Goodbye.